Even though there are obvious benefits in terms of eBay search of shipping out your items on the same day, I've gone through all my listings to change my listings to a 1 day or in some cases a 2-day processing time. And today I got a reason to really see that this is a good thing to do, and perhaps you want to consider doing the same thing too. A customer bought for me a computer today, very decent computer, expensive. So later in the day, came to the warehouse. I was excited that the computer had sold. This was a computer that I really knew was going to sell, but for one reason or the other was just taking longer than usual. But then, given that I wasn't going to ship out the computer on this same day, I just brought it out from the shelf, did some initial preparations to make sure that the computer gets shipped out the next day, and then went ahead to ship out the other items that were marked to be shipped out. Everything was good. Went back home. But then what happened? In the evening, I did receive a message from the buyer of the computer asking me if I could cancel the transaction because he felt like this wasn't the computer that he really wanted. And as soon as I got this message, I didn't even think twice. I went quickly, took up my laptop, went to my sold items and just clicked on the transaction, canceled it. Reason being that the buyer had requested that the transaction be cancelled. So why am I bringing this up? I was just wondering to myself, if it was in the time where I had to ship out items on the same day, what would have happened? I would have spent time processing this computer. I would have spent time packaging it. I would have spent time and energy and effort bringing it to the post office. And then I would have shipped it to a buyer that his mind is already set to return the item. What does that mean for me as a seller? That is waste of time. That is waste of energy. That is waste of money, because first I'm going to spend packaging materials, first packing the item. I'm going to spend money on gas, driving to the post office, even though it's just 3 kilometers from me. It translates to loss of money given that I've spent money buying the gas. And then, given that the buyer isn't already convinced that this is a computer that he wants, he's definitely going to go onto eBay and try to initiate a return. Yes, like I always say on my videos, returning my items on eBay is absolutely not a problem. But problem comes when there are every possibilities that the item is going to be returned in a very unprofessional manner. And that quickly becomes an issue, especially when you sell expensive items like computers, like laptops. This quickly becomes an issue. So in my mind of minds, I was so happy. I was proud of myself that yes, even though there are so many benefits that I should have gotten by listing my items and shipping them out on the same day in terms of the eBay search, this one event actually reminded me that me going onto eBay to change my processing time to 1 day and in some cases 2 days is actually a step in the right direction. So I was actually happy for the fact that I didn't have to spend time, I didn't have to spend energy trying to ship out this computer, only for me to thereafter receive a message that yes, I received the computer, it's very good, but I would like to return it because it doesn't meet my needs. So this might also be a very practical step for you. You might want to consider some of your offers. If there are items that are really like bulky, that takes a lot of effort to process in terms of packing them, shipping them out, you may want to consider giving a day or two after the transaction has taken place, because sometimes this is just long enough for the buyer to actually take a second look to see if the item in question is what he or she really needs. And in the event that a buyer decides to cancel, you have absolutely nothing to lose. All you have to do is just to reverse the transaction. In this case, you still have your item in your possession. You don't have to pack them. You don't have to ship them. And there are not any possibilities where that an item is sent out and then is sent back to you and then perhaps the item is broken during transit. This is just a tip coming from me. You might not find this in any book. I hope it helps you. If it does, go ahead and click on the like button, subscribe to the channel. Until I see you again, peace.